Alright, so like I said, we're working on Legit Kit's Vortex block of the month. We are working on month 10 this morning. If you signed up for this, you should have gotten this in your mail or your email box here in the last week or so. And this is what we will look like when we are all done. We are working on this bottom corner right here, these 8 blocks down here in the corner. So let's get to work. Let's see if I put that right there. You'll kind of be able to sort of see it. Up behind it. There we go. So this is what we're working on here today. Let's see if that stays there. Got my light box here. Let's see if that off for just another sec. I'll show you everything that comes in the packet when you get the kit from Legit. You're going to get what today's design is going to look like, or what today's project's going to look like, whether it be these 8 blocks or a full-size quilt. Here it is with a little less stuff around here. Here are the 8 blocks. This is the pattern side. That's the finished side. And then these are the colors of fabrics that you're going to be using in it, alphabetically by the Legit Kit code and by color. These are all in the same color sphere today. They're all in that orange to red. So I'm using like a dark orange thread today. It's going to kind of tie everything together. Out of the 8 blocks, there's only 2 of them that need to be pieced. One has 2 pieces, one has 3 pieces, and this just shows you how to piece them together. If you have a block where there's 20 or 30 pieces, that's very helpful. Alright, so we're going to set all that aside. Thank you. Alright, let's get to work. So, we're going to start out with G1. There's only 3 pieces to this. We're going to do this like I did last month, where we're going to put or actually there's 4 pieces. We're going to put all the 1s and 2s together, then we'll press them, trim them, add the 3s on, press them, trim them, add the 4s on. Some of these blocks we're going to be done super quick. So we are going to start out with TG, is this one here. Thank you for all the likes. Alright, so my line is right here. Slide that out. And the other one that I need here is QN. Alright, so we're going to flip this over, and we'll take that first piece that we cut. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. As long as my technology is behaving, I'll be able to see it on my TV over there, and I'll answer them. And this is going to go like that. Yes, all this will get trimmed off. We're going to flip this over. And I'm going to put just a couple pins down here, just so that it doesn't shift while I go over here to the sewing machine. Now I did drop, oops, I'm not quite straight. I'm going to straighten that out just a little bit. I did drop the stitch length on my machine down. The default on my machine is a stitch length of 2.4. And I dropped it down to about 2. And now piece G2 is only 2 pieces. So we'll be done mighty quick. I'm going to cut it like this, and then I'll just change. That angle is not quite right, so we'll just fix that a little bit. So this cut doesn't need to be perfect, so I'm just going to freehand it. Being cautious to stay away from the hand. All right. Yeah, this angle wasn't quite right, so we're just going to fix that up a little bit. That on there. Throw my ruler on there. In real life, I can see through that fabric, see through things enough to see the line. There we go. Now we're on the right angle. And then we want FL. Now we're going to put this back. Thank you for all of those likes. I'm going to lay this on here. This will go here, and then we're just going to fold it over. A couple of pins to hold it where it needs to be. And then we're going to flip it over just to make sure we stayed. Yep, we got a good seam line there. G3 is 2 pieces. So let me cut the excess paper off. Alright, so piece A is only 2 pieces. It's FL and TG, so cut it up either side. There's my seam line. And we'll pull that guy out. Cut this angle here. Maybe he's all jacked up again. Alright, we're going to go like that. Flip this over. Pins to hold it still. Alright, so now this one we've got TM and CX. This is a thicker fabric. Line there. Of course, I'm going to trim that line too, so I'm going to give myself a little extra wiggly room. Need a little wedge here for CX. So we're going to put this on here. That's our stitch line up here. Like that. And a couple pins, and then we will stitch that. G4 has 3 pieces. We're going to cut these apart. G and CX to start with. Sometimes it's just easier with the scissors. So we've got G, CX. Now we're going to go with WW and GI. We're going to come back and we'll press and we'll add on the piece 3s. Wedge down here. Welcome, welcome. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. If I don't see it right away, ask again. Everyone's very quiet this morning. Right. Now we've got FL and RD. Let's see, there's that cut side that we just did. I'm just going to freehand around this, keeping our hands free of the cut zone. Excuse me. Frog in my throat this morning. FL and RD. That. And we're going to need to cut like that. Is on here. FL is here. RD is there. Flip them over. That looks like good. Thank you, Andrew, for catching that question. All right, and we're going to stitch right there. Move on to row H. Welcome in, friends. Mama needs coffee. This one is only 2 pieces. TH and SB. Trying to finagle this and wrestle this. It's a challenge sometimes. I can see my line there. Pull that paper out. Don't ever forget to pull that paper out. You won't be sad. You will be making friends with Mr. Scotch Tape after that. Alright, and then SB. Now, SB is one fabric that I chose that it's directional. And I didn't think when I chose this one. So I had made note that I want things to be going this way. One block I didn't do that. I may go back and fix it. I don't know. So I need trying to make that straightish up and down. There we go. I'm not going to go live with anybody. Somebody's trying to go live with me right now. I'm not doing that today. All right. So that one's going to end up there. One is going to be here. Couple pins in here. And we'll stitch this one up. Now, this next block is going to be the hardest block in the entire quilt. So get yourselves ready. Are you ready? It's all one piece. So how are you going to deal with that all one piece? You're going to get your fabric out. This just happens to be that same one that I was just wrestling with. I'm going to plop that on there. I'm going to rough cut around it. I am actually going to still stitch this. How do you say? Why? Because I want to keep everything stable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my stitch length to a more basting stitch. So I'm going to throw that stitch length up to like a 4 or 5 and just across it so that everything gets held together stably. I'll leave that out. I need it for my next one. I'm going to stop wrestling with it. All right, so I'm just going to put this on here. I'm actually going to run it through twice. I'm going to put 2 layers of basting stitches on, or 2 rows of basting stitches on it. And then remember to put your stitch length back down. All right. One more with this TH. The most efficiently. I need to chop off this side, so we got a square corner down here. I'm going to cut across there and open my cutter up. Open across there. seam line there. And now I need this piece here. If you're just joining us, we are working on Legit Kits Vortex block, or month 10. When we are all done, it's going to look like this. Today we are working on this corner right down here. When we're done today, we will have a unit that looks like this. I need FL. Like that. All right, so we'll flip that pattern back over. So we're looking at the back side of it. We're going to build our fabric on the back side. We're going to drop down piece 1. Our seam line is right there. Piece 2 is going to go here. I'm going to flip that over. Drop a couple pins in it to hold it still. This is the last block to build here on this corner. And essentially, I'm just going to cut the whole thing. So I think it's going to be easiest. I'm going to cut the whole thing, and then we're going to be cutting off these 2 corners here. I'm going to cut off this corner for this piece of TH over here. I'm going to set that ruler on there. And TH is that one that I did the whole big block on. Just trim this off from what I cut off, or what I sewed on there. I think it will work. Make it work. All right, so I need to get my iron turned on, and we're going to press all of these. Take all these pins out. And this is that one that it's all one piece, and I just threw a couple rows of basting across it. We'll take those out once we get everything put together. Yeah, the bottom guard was sleeping on the job. You would think, but it's a drop in one, so you can see as long as that cover isn't covered with fabric that you're feeding into it. I'll give me just a moment to press all of these, and then I will be right back. Okay, so now we've got all of our fabrics, all of our seams pressed over. All right, so now I'm going to set these guys aside away from my coffee. I need to move over there. Move that pile there, and take the top one off. So this one, we've got to put this over here. We're going to fold over on the seam line. We're going to take our add a quarter and trim it off. And now we're going to find TG and find a piece to go on there. That'll work there. Seems like it takes forever putting fabric in and out of bags, but if you don't keep yourself organized, you're going to end up using the wrong color. You're going to get frustrated. Alright, so then we're going to put that on there. And we're going to stitch that. This one, this is all we needed to do on this, so we just need to trim this one up. Oh, TV, why are you frozen? Alright, so this one is done. We can set that in a done pile. And this one is that one that it's just all one piece, so we're just going to trim this down to size. Okay. Alright, there we go. And one more. Alright, so there's that piece is done. This one was also only 2, so we're just going to trim this up. We're done with this block. Years old. Nice. Okay, so it's a good machine. Take it into the boiling filter and take her down. Find out what beautiful thing you can make with her. Alright, there's 3 of them done. Now we need to add a piece on. Okay, so I'm going to tear back the paper just a little bit so that we can fold along that new seam line here. And trim this. So you can do foundation paper piecing without having a whole lot of waste, or you can cut it much more openly and have a whole lot of waste. It's completely up to you and your comfort level. And how the fabric wants to talk to you. Like that. Pull that out of there. And we'll flip that over. Tack it down a little bit. All right, so we're going to fold over on that stitch line. And then we will trim. And let's add this one on here. We'll be uploading this onto the Tube of You. I'm still working on last month. I had to do a lot of editing for last month because I talked for like 3 hours last month. So I'm trying to edit it down, but it takes longer to edit it than it did for the whole thing. So I'm just going to whack this with the scissors. This piece is going to go here. And this one needs this piece here now. I'm going to fold over. Alright. That covered. I'm just going to whack that off. That's going to go there. Welcome in, friends. Welcome, welcome. On this. Alright, this one's ready to be trimmed up. Next month is going to have a couple blocks. It's kind of challenging, and the rest of them are really pretty cool. And the last month's going to be a couple day. A whole bunch of big pieces. Next month we're going to get into this right here, that very center of that vortex. We'll get all of this next month. So we'll have these couple blocks, well, there are probably three blocks here that are going to have a fair amount of smaller pieces, but everything's totally doable. All right. Thinking of doing the envelope thing that you do. Yes, absolutely. Yep. Yes, absolutely. Whatever you can do to help keep yourself organized. What I'm doing with this one, these are actually just page protectors, like you'd find, like you'd put, reports or, paperwork in. These are very inexpensive. The ones that I use typically, I get these on Amazon, and they're a whole lot sturdier, and they open in this way, so there's a bigger mouth to get into. So that's my preferred, but that is a whole lot more expensive. These ones are, you can have 100 for like $10. So you got about 10 cents a piece. Those other ones are 15 cents a piece. So yeah. With a Sharpie, so it stays on there, so I know what's on. Oh, this one we got one. Oh, we got 2 pieces to put on here. Did you know that if you write on something with a Sharpie and you then no longer want that marking on it, if you take a dry erase marker and you scribble over the Sharpie mark and dry erase it away, your Sharpie mark is gone? So if you're going to use them for, a different project next time, you can remark them. Here. And that's all the pieces we need to sew, all the number 3 pieces we need to sew. So we'll go ahead and pull these off the machine, get the pins out of them. And now I'm going to take these all over to the iron and press them. And we'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Less pieces to press every time. Okay, so now this one, we have SB down here to add on. Alright, so didn't think when I chose that fabric. It's going to go on there like that. And let's stitchy this. This one needs this piece here. Fold along that stitch line and trim. I also have an add a quarter or add an 1/8 for when I'm doing itty bitty pieces. And I've seen some of them around too that are pink, that were a breast cancer awareness thing. All right, take this over here. Another thing that you need to remember when you're doing foundation paper piecing is that you are going to have a whole lot more lint. So you need to clean your sewing machine more often. I will clean my sewing machine every couple bobbins. I'll take the whole bobbin case thing out, and I have an old paintbrush that's seen much better days. And it's great for getting in there and grabbing all those little extra pieces because it is splayed out like that. Got lots of fingers. And when you want to get in the itty bitty grooves, I have little, I think they're actually makeup applicators, but they're a teeny tiny little Q-tip kind of thing. Don't ever blow canned air into your machine unless you have full access to the underside of that machine, because it will blow all that fluff and stuff into the crevices and you will end up with it all caked in there. This one needs this one's done too. Wait out. And a little bit of I was going to caps go in. I don't use because it's completely east, and my bond sits there with solid steel just blowing around it. And I'm blowing that air, blowing anything. Look at me. There's a sale at Joann's. They just sent me a text. All right. We are getting nearly done with all these. this one is only like 30 pieces total, if I remember correctly. It's on the front page of any legit kit ones. It's going to show you the dot is going to say this is an easy one, and then it's a master project. There's only 11 colors that we're working with today and 30 pieces. That's one with 55 pieces. Next one, there's probably at least 70, just because that's the center of the we're working on. And we got this all, and this one is all done too. And this, remember this one piece over here? Let me turn it up, I'll show you how to get it up. It's not perfect, but it's not too good enough. Actually, we're first. But again, it's top of the seam, so we're good. Alright, so anywhere where you see white, it's not quite caught. So that, but it is within the seam, so we're good. And down here, even though it looked like it was going to be awful, there's just a tiny little bit, but that will be within the seam line, so we're good. All right, so that's all that needed piece number 4. So I'm going to go press these two. So here's my 2 pieces. This one is ready to trim up. Go. And this one, we need one last piece. And then we'll start piecing these blocks together. We got 2 of them that we need to piece together. And then we'll put all 8 of them together in a group and we'll be done. All right, let's stitch this. And then we're going to trim it up. All right. Now we're going to piece these guys together. There's G4. So these guys are going to go together, and this is going to go together like that. Did it over here where you guys can see it? So that, oops, going to go like that. All right. So now we're going to match points up. This point here, and make sure I come out right at that corner, and then drop it in right there. Make sure it comes out right on the seam line. And we're going to poke through there. Oh, yep, it came right out at this other point. Now we're going to put a horizontal pin in. Line everything up. Pin in right at the point. There we go. Horizontal pin. And then let's give it one more here. And we can take this one out. And we'll stitch right along that line. So now we are stitched right on that seam line. And I'm going to take the paper out from the seam line. And then I'm going to press that seam open. And then we'll do the same thing here. And drop it down right here, this section, and then this section here, drop it through the seam line, it doesn't. And same with others. Down there, and one center, and stitch. All right, and we'll take the paper out of the seam line. And we're going to press that open. And that'll get rid of some of the bulk. If you press it all to one side, you're going to have a whole lot of bulk on some of these. So there's that one. And now this one we need to piece together. That's going to go over here. And again, seam line right in that intersection. Those seam lines come together. Those seam lines come together. Those seam lines come together. And then stick horizontally. And then go horizontal here. And stitchy stitchy. And we'll press this open. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4 for each. So I'm going to hook these together, these together, these together, these together. And then we'll make a unit of 4. We'll make a unit of 4. And then we'll put them all together as a unit of 8. Okay? And yes, I turned my light box on underneath. So I'm going to put these two together. And then I'm going to take 3 and 4. This guy's singing to us. Are you singing us the song of your people? So we've been on here for an hour and a half now, according to Mr. Tiki Tock. I just gave me my 90-minute alert. And here, there really isn't anything to line up here other than the edges, because we're all solid on both sides. I'm just going to pin that along. We're going to put these two together. We just have that one area to mark to line up. Alright, so we've got our units here, and we're going to take the paper out of the seam line. Alright, let me go press these seams open. Alright, so now we've got all of these. Look how those seam lines matched up so nicely because we took the time to make sure things were lined up. Now we're going to match up G3 or G34 and H34 and G12 and H12. So we're going to match these guys up. These two are going to go together. All right, now I'm going to stitch these two seams. Now we're going to get rid of our paper. All right, let me go press these seams open. Be right back. All right, and then we have this half and this half that need to go together. And then we're done. We're done. Done, 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 done. So how many of you follow Legit Kits on other socials? Because they made an announcement this week that they are, the next block of the month is actually going to be one of the kits that's been around for a little bit. Yes. So Legit Kits made an announcement this week that the next block of the month that's going to be coming up, and hopefully I'll be a part of that one too, is going to be one of the kits that they've had out for a little bit called Deep Dive. It's a sea turtle. That's going to be a block of the month. We're going to break it up into 12 sections like these other block of the month kits that we've had. And that'll make getting that kit or that quilt a little bit more budget friendly. And spread that wealth over 12 months instead of one big womp.
We're back in a bit.
All right. Love you.
You too. Need caffeine juice to be right back.
Ah, gotcha. All right, I'm taking out some of these little ones here just because sometimes once you fold that over, once you fold that seam line over, it's more challenging to get into there. So there's that. Let me go press this and then we will show it all. There it is for you. We are working this bottom corner down here. And this is that bottom corner over there. Cool, huh? You like? So this will get put with this is what we worked on last month. This will go down here. Let's see if I can grab the corners. So they'll go together like that. That's Iris is already in play. Iris has already got 3 months out. I'm behind on that one. But yes, after Iris, and I think they're talking about getting Deep Dive going here in the next couple months. So it's going to be cool. It's going to be very cool. Deep Dive is a great quilt. Let's see. Is it in here? Hang on a second. Let me set you down for a sec. It may be in this brochure thing that I've got. Or is this older than Deep Dive? Oh. Deep Dive is this one right here. It's that one right there. That's going to be made into a block of the month. This is a great one, in my opinion. Let me flip this around so I can actually hold this. Let me flip my camera. So Deep Dive is great because you're going to start out, actually probably starting out up here with a little bit of challenge. All of this area is so easy. This is a great quilt. When I was at the Paducah show last year, this is one that I was saying, if somebody came up and they said, I've never done this before, what's the easiest, okay, it's either going to be this one's super easy. This is a great one to build on because you've got this area up here. When you're brandy new, you work on this area up here. You've got blocks that are like what we just did today. And then once you get a little bit more confident, then you work down here at the bottom where there's a little bit of challenge and a little bit of skill that's needed. There's some small pieces, but it's still very doable. These guys, this through here is all lots of itsy bitsy pieces. So that makes this a more challenging quilt because of this area here. But this is going to be the next block of the month. So it's really, really cool. Keep an eye out, keep an ear out, and I will let you know details as I get them. But for now, I'm going to kick out of here. It's been great hanging out with you. It was like an hour and 45 minutes it took us to do month 10. Next month, like I said, we're going to have a whole lot more challenge. There's going to be, we're working in the center of that vortex. So next month we're going to plan on probably a 3-hour time span again. 3-hour plus, because there's 2 or 3, maybe even 4 blocks that have got a lot of itty bitty pieces in them. And then there's 4 that are going to be pretty darn simple. But next month is going to be but I'm going to kick out of here. Yeah, I might be back for Sip and Sew. No, I won't be back for Sip and Sew tonight. Hubby and I have a date tonight. So I won't be back for Sip and Sew, but you guys have a great day. I might be back on this afternoon. I don't know, but bye.